I got this long trip for $314, but I didn't accept it because my Tesla only had 20% battery. So then I posted the feeling of loss on Facebook group, and this guy basically said I should be more selective and I'd be surprised at how much I make. But here's the thing. I actually was able to measure, should I have taken this trip? Let's do the math and I'll walk you through the whole thing. At 10:18 yesterday, I got this trip for $314 to go from basically Syracuse all the way to Philadelphia. It's about a 5-hour trip there and a 5-hour trip back, but I'd have to stop and charge probably twice, probably 60 minutes worth of charging. We're talking roughly a 12-hour type of event. This would have been really long. And normally I pass up on these type of trips just because it locks me in for so long. I'm not sure if it's profitable, but my friend had actually had this reservation before, canceled on it, and now it's sitting out here. And I was like, maybe this passenger really would like a ride. There's a tip. And so I was debating it, but here's the catch. My Tesla only had 20% battery, so I wasn't able to take him. Insert all of the negative Tesla EV hate here. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and analyze, was this trip financially worth it? I think James makes a really good point because we should be selective in which trips we take. There's a lot of different strategies. I used to be like exclusively a short trip taker because I was trying to hit quests and bonuses and stuff like that. And then now I'm a lot more of a reservation, some long trips, some short trips. I'm trying to get to different cities. Each strategy is definitely different. So I definitely think James is right. We should be more selective. To properly analyze this, we need to first take a look at what did I make for the day. And in fact, I made $325 in revenue for the day. And however, if you see, you can't compare $325 to $314. So that 325 includes 2 trips that I completed before the $314 trip came in. So I earned $59 on a trip, and then I'd earned $10 on a trip. So I'm going to take that out of my 325 and compare that to the 314. And let's see what I ended up coming up with. Let's start at 10:18 a.m. From there, that we knew that trip was roughly 329 minutes trip to Philadelphia, right? Then I knew I'd spend about 60 minutes charging my car. I'd also take 29 minutes back to my house. So the total time of that trip would be 718 minutes. The total time when I would basically is at 11, almost 12 hours exactly, right? And then so I would get home around 10:16 p.m. So I started at 10:18 and I would go to 10:16 p.m. What I did was from 10:18, I actually got home at 9:47 that night. So I was actually working online, working for roughly 11 hours and 29 minutes. And I say online working for that time. And remember, I take breaks, I do other things. So it's including total time active, driving passengers, and deadhead time, etc. So almost the exact same. Again, the fare was $314 to go from Syracuse to Philadelphia, roughly 12 hours. I think the passenger would have paid $600, give or take, say 629, because Uber takes half, right? If I'm only getting 314, the passenger probably paid 629. So let's just say a 10% tip for $62. I would have probably earned roughly $377. And during that same time period, I earned $254. And the reason why I know that is because I had $325 in earnings for the day, and I take out the 59 and the $10. So right off the bat, it seems like 377 is more than 254, but costs. We need to talk about costs, and that's the last thing. Let's see what was the most profitable, taking the $314 one-way trip or long trip, or just doing what I actually did. The $314 reserved ride was actually 254 miles to Philadelphia, then 254 miles back. It would have been roughly a number, so 508 total miles. During that same time, I only drove 149 miles. My cost per mile for the Tesla is 30 cents, and that includes electricity, estimated maintenance, estimated depreciation on the vehicle. So my total cost to go to Philadelphia and back would have been $152. What I actually cost was $44. So my profit was $225 versus $209, which means my profit per hour on the reserve trip would have been $18.82. versus my profit per hour. What I actually did was only 18.28. Which one would you have taken? Let's wrap this whole video up. Doing some pretty basic math accounting and making some really rational assumptions based upon real data, I should have taken the $314 reserve trip in terms of profitability. Even though it's more miles, the truth is I had a really rough Friday night. It just wasn't really that good. I spent a lot of time doing other things instead of driving because I was sitting around waiting for really good rides. I wasn't really getting good tips. But I wouldn't have known that. And you and I would never know that. We can only take trips based upon what we really think we should do. And there's just a lot of other factors that we don't know. And my frustrating thing about this whole thing is that I think Uber and Lyft, it's like a big game. It's like a big gambling thing. They're giving me 7 seconds to make a decision for a 12-hour day. And that's not rational. That's not logical. And there's a couple of ways I could have handled it. A lot of people on the Facebook group are telling me, hey, you should have just accepted the trip, gone to the place to pick up the passenger, and then got the cancellation fee because the passenger would not have wanted to get in the car with you to watch you charge the car or something like that. A lot of people are saying, hey, it's really bad trip to take because they're estimating their cost per mile at 67 or the federal mileage rate, whatever it is this year. And I understand that, but that's not real costs. On the other hand, I could have taken it because even though I'm saying my costs were $152, that's not really actual cash out. I've probably only would have spent 29, 30 something dollars on electricity. That $152 in cost would have gone into a savings account that I would have paid for if the car would have my car would have break down, which it doesn't. It's a Tesla, right? But tires, I would definitely have to get more tires. But I don't have to pay for oil changes. I'm just teasing. But that $150 would still be in my hands. I guess ultimately there's two ways to look at it. One is kind of, are you good at playing the game? Do you know your city really well that you're able to know I can make more than the 314? Then take it. If you don't really know and you're not really sure, but you wanted the guaranteed money, take it. Take the 314. So there's no wrong way. Ultimately, there's really no wrong way to be a rideshare driver. I'm not telling you what the right solution is. Part of me wishes I took the 314 and then just listened to an audiobook all the way back home. That'd have been really easy. Met a lot of good people. I had a good time last night. There might be some more tips coming in. I did advance my EV. I did, 20 something rides yesterday. So that's 20 additional dollars in EV Quest dollars that are out there. There's no real wrong way. What would you have done? Which ride would you have taken? What do you think about it? Do you hate Teslas? Do you love them? Let me know in the comments. I'm really cheering for you guys. Drive your way in 2025. Bye.